Hi, welcome to WatchMojo.com. I'm your host, Layla. I'm joining Dr. Daniel Levitin, author of international best-selling book, This Is Your Brain on Music, The Science of Human Obsession. What is it about everything that we perceive about music that makes us expert listeners?
Music, as we listen to it as children, creates templates in our brains. They figure out what notes are likely to follow what and where the music's going to go. And by the age of 5, most children know when a chord is out of sequence or a note is out of tune. That's why I say we're all expert listeners. I could play a little sequence like this, and if I go, you know that's wrong, and any 5-year-old would know that was wrong.
What role does theory of mind play in our appreciation of music?
Theory of mind refers to our ability, and it's a uniquely human ability, to realize that other people have thoughts that may not be our own. It is crucial to our appreciation of music. We have to understand that the composer and the performer have some feelings that they're trying to express, and we're sensitive to that.
In what ways are humans specifically adapted for music?
Humans and music share an evolutionary history. What I mean by that is that music and humans co-evolved over tens of thousands of years, and our brains became adapted for music, and music became adapted to our changing brains.
Do you want to take us back to your childhood when you started tinkering with recording machines and starting to play instruments?
I started playing the piano when I was 4 because I used to lie underneath the piano as my mom played it. I would lie underneath and on my back and be enveloped by the sound. Then I took up the clarinet when I was 8 and the saxophone when I was 9, and I've been playing music ever since. When I was 17 and I went to college for a year, and then I dropped out after my loudspeakers caught fire in my dorm room. I started playing in a succession of different rock bands, and the one that was really, really good broke up because of drug addiction within the band. And then I couldn't see starting over with a new band, so I started producing other bands in the studio. After a while, things started to take off.
Who have been some of the most wonderful people you've worked with, artists or groups?
Well, you, of course, Layla. It's interesting because different artists work in different ways. So some are more personal, and some are more business, some are more intimate, some are more standoffish. I think a memorable experience was working with Stevie Wonder because I found him to be a very generous and warm person. He's just the man you would want him to be. He's smart, and he's funny, and he's spontaneous, but he also manages to balance being a spiritual person with being an emotional one, and being an intellectual, and being physical. And those 4 are in perfect balance at all times.
And then I believe that you sort of worried that learning too much about musical theory might take away from the magic of it. How has it perhaps done the opposite?
I have a greater appreciation for how complicated it is to write a good piece of music, and how complicated is the chain of events from a musician making noise to your eardrum wiggling in and out to your brain being able to take it all in and understand it. With that appreciation, I find I don't analyze music more, but I appreciate it more.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Dr. Levitin.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.